Good morning students, welcome back to our maths class. So students, in our today's class, we are going to learn about equivalent fraction. Okay, in the last class, already we have started fraction. So let me ask you, what is a fraction? Fraction represents parts of a whole. Parts of a whole, you use it in everyday, in your day-to-day life. Now, how to represent the parts of a whole in a mathematical way? To represent this parts of a whole in mathematical way, we use fractions. Got it, children? So fraction is what? Fraction represents parts of a whole. Well, parts of a whole. Got it? Say for example, here you see a circle. It's a whole. Okay. When you divide the circle into two equal parts, okay, two equal parts, each part represents what? Fraction. Got it? So whole is divided into two equal parts. One part we call it what? 1/2, or we call it half. Okay? One part, we call it 1/2, or we call it half. Two halves make one whole. Two halves makes one whole. Two equal parts. This whole is divided into two equal parts, and each part we call it what? Half. Each part is a fraction, and we call it what? Half. So I told you, like general number, fraction use two number. One number on the top, as I told you, 1, and another number on the bottom. The bottom number represent what? That the whole is divided. Total number of parts the whole is divided. Okay, and the top number represent what? That you have taken out, or you have. And the bottom number that the whole is divided, we call it what, children? Denominator. And the top one we call it what? Numerator. These two are two terms of fraction, and we write fractional number like this. Got it, children? So before starting our today's topic, that is equivalent fraction, let's do a warm-up activity to recall the things that we have learned in our last class. Got it, children? So at the end of this session, children, you will be able to recognize and generate equivalent fraction. Clear? So let's do the warm-up activity. So children, to recall the part that we have learned in the last class, I have a question for you all. Let's do this activity. Okay, so here what is given. Find a fraction represented by following colors of circular disc. This is a circular disc. Okay. Now from here, you have to represent the following colors. That means you have to find out, okay, how many parts of that circular disc is shaded by red color. How many parts are shaded by blue and white? So what you have to do? You have to find out the fraction. So let's start. Yes, children, tell me. Do it. Find out the fraction. Look at this circular disc. Yes, children? So, let me help you. This is what? Circular disc. And the circular disc is divided into how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's divided into 8. That means this whole is divided into 8 equal parts. So 8 is what, children? Let me write it down. 8 is what? The whole is divided into how many equal parts? 8. So 8 is what? Denominator. Denominator. Total parts that a whole is divided, total equal parts that a whole is divided, we call it what? Denominator. Okay? Now out of 8 equal parts, how many parts are shaded? 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8, how many parts are shaded? That means you have 3. So 3 is what, children? It's a numerator. It's a numerator. I hope it is clear to everyone now. Got it? Now from this circular disc, you have to represent the fraction. You have to find out the fraction. That's it, red color. So denominator will remain same. Here you will write 8. Out of 8 equal parts, how many parts are shaded with red color? Yes, give me, children. Answer, give me. It is 1 by 8. Got it? Next, have to find out the blue color. Again, I told you denominator is the same. Out of 8 equal parts, how many parts are shaded with blue color? 2 by 8. Now, next come to white. Out of 8 equal parts, how many are shaded with white? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 8. Got it? Now here you see 1 by 8 plus 2 by 8, 3 by 8. 3 by 8 plus 5 by 8 comes total 8 by 8. And this 8 by 8 represent 1, that is whole. And that we have learned in our last class, in our previous class. That is what? Fraction represents parts of a whole. Got it, children? Is it clear? And the two terms used in fraction are numerator and the denominator. And how we read fractional numbers? We read 1 by 8 or 1 8, 2 by 8 or 2 8, 5 by 8 or we call it 5 8. Now what you have learned from this activity? From this activity again you have recalled the part what is a fraction, the terms of fraction and how we read the fractional numbers. Clear, children? So now we are going to learn about equivalent fraction. Clear? So let's start our today's topic. So let us learn what is equivalent fraction. So equivalent fraction is what? Fractions that denote the same part of a whole are called equivalent fractions. Okay? So what is equivalent fraction? That have the same value but the numerators and denominators are different. Okay? We term it as a equivalent fraction. Fraction that denote the same part of a whole. They have the same value but the numerator and denominators are different. Okay, they represent same. Now, let us understand through this diagram, pictorial representation about equivalent fraction. Now see here, this shows what? This rectangle is divided into how many parts? 2 parts. Okay, it's divided into how many parts? 2 parts. And this actually represents what? 1 out of 2 equal parts. 1 part is shaded. Out of 2 equal parts, 1 part is shaded. And we call it this one what? Half. We call it what? Half. 2 is what? 2 is the denominator, that the whole is divided, total part that the whole is divided, and 1 is what? Numerator. That part that is shading. Okay, children? Now, if I divide each part into 2 equal parts, same figure, if I divide each part into 2 equal parts, then I get what? How many equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And out of 4, how many parts are shaded? 2. 2 by 4. Now here you can see both figure shows same value. Both figures shows same shaded point. Yes or no? Here you see, this is also represent half, this is also represent half. Both figures shows same equal parts. That means we can say 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4. This is also half, this part is also half. This shows same value. But here denominator is 2. Here denominator is 4. Numerator is 1. Numerator is 2. As I have already told you, what? Fractions that denote the same part of a whole are called equivalent fraction. Fraction that represent same value but the numerators and denominators are different. I hope it is clear. This is also half part shaded. This is also half part. Here you can see. Through this pictorial, through this figure diagrams, you can easily find out these are shaded equal parts. Both shows equal parts. This shows also half and this one also half. What are same. So we can say 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4. So this shows what? This shows equivalent fraction. Okay. So children, what are the words we have learned here? Yes, we have learned about what? Fraction, new words. Fraction, then we have learned equivalent, denote, represent. These are our new words. Numerator, denominator. These are the words we have learned. Okay, children. Now, how to find out the equivalent fraction? That I am going to show you. How to find the equivalent fraction of a given fraction. That I am going to explain it to you. So now, let's do this question to understand the concept equivalent fraction. Right? So what is given here, you see children? State the reasons. State the reasons to show equivalent fraction. Two figures are given. Question is asking, set the reasons to show whether the both are equivalent fraction or not. Yes, so number A figure, what is given? 1 by 3 or 1/3. That means out of 3 equal parts, we have to shade 1 part. Got it? Now, second one, the rectangle is divided into how many equal parts? 6. Question is asking, shade 2 parts out of 6 equal parts. Now, is this represent same? Is this represent same? Is this represent same? Children? Yes, they represent the same shaded portion. They represent the same shaded portion. That means they represent same value, but the numerators and the denominators are different. So we can say that these two are equivalent fraction. Now children, how to make the fraction equivalent? To make the fraction equivalent, what you have to do? You have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the same number. Now, how 1 by 3 is equal to 2 by 6? So here 1 into 2 is 2 and 3 into 2 is 6. So these are what? Equivalent fraction. Equivalent fraction. So to find out the equivalent fraction of a given fraction, what we have to do? We have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. That means here if you have multiplied 1 into 2, so the denominator also you have to multiply it by 2 to get equivalent fraction. So from this we can say that 1/3 is equal to 2 by 6. Got it children? 1/3 is equal to 2 by 6. So these two are equivalent fraction. They represent the same shaded portion. They represent the same shaded portion. Okay? So to make the fraction equivalent, we have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the same number. And also we have to divide both the numerator and denominator by the same number to get an equivalent fraction. That means to make the fraction equivalent, we have to multiply and divide both the numerator and denominator by the same number. Got it children? So from this we came to know that these two are equivalent fractions. Clear children? I hope it is clear to everyone how to find out equivalent fraction. What is equivalent fraction? Clear? I hope it is clear. So let's do one more example, okay, to find the equivalent fraction. Now let us see how to find the equivalent fraction of the given fraction. Okay, so here you see first one is 1 by 2. Now what you have to do, you have to find out two equivalent fraction of this. So as I've already told you, to find out the equivalent fraction of the given fraction, we have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number, So we'll take 2. 1 into 2, 2. 2 into 2. 1 into 2, 2. 2 into 2, 4. So one of the equivalent fraction of 1 by 2 is 2 by 4. Next, there's one we got, 2 by 4. Next, 1 into 3, 2 into 3. So another one is 3 by 6. Next equivalent fraction of 1 by 2 is 3 by 6. So we get two equivalent fraction of 1 by 2. One is 2 by 4 and another one is 3 by 6. I hope it is clear how to find out equivalent fraction. Next come to number B. Again same process. Multiply both the numerator and denominator by the same number. So we'll take 3 into 2, 4 into 2. That is 6 by 8. So one of the equivalent fraction of 3 by 4 is 6 by 8. Again one more. 3 into 3, 4 into 3. So another one is 9 by 12. So another one equivalent fraction of 3 by 4 is 9 by 12. So 3 by 4 is equal to 6 by 8 equal to 9 by 12. Okay. Next one. 2 by 5. Again same process. 2 into 2, 5 into 2. That is 4 by 10. One of the equivalent fraction of 2 by 5 is 4 by 10. 2 into 3, 5 into 3. 6 by 50. Another equivalent fraction of 2 by 5 is 6 by 50. So children, this is how you have to find out the equivalent fraction of the given fraction. Okay? By multiplication or by divide, you can find out the equivalent fraction. Okay? Understood, children? Clear? So if you divide 6 by 2, you will get 3. 15 divided by 5, you will get 3. So this is how you can find it out, equivalent fraction. So children, in our today's class, what we have learned? We have learned about what is equivalent fraction and how to find out the equivalent fractions of the given fraction. So do practice this one. In the next class, we'll be starting about the another types of fraction, that is like an unlike fraction. Okay, thank you.